Welcome to this video, which is going to show you as a Levy donor how you can use the new Co-op Levy Share website to find smaller organisations who are looking to receive a levy transfer, something that you can help with by using the Levy Share and Levy Transfer facility. Okay, so to start off you would need to register. So what you would do is you would click on register on the site, and you'll see this pop up straight away. And what this will do is it tells you that any of the opportunities that you see on this site as a levy donor that you could choose to share your levy with, those apprentices will be paid at least national living wage, and that's regardless of age. Okay, so you can be comfortable that any of the opportunities you see on the site, the apprentices will be paid national living wage. Okay, so you click confirm and it takes you through to the registration page. So you have two choices. A default is a receiving organisation, i.e. an organisation that's looking to receive a levy transfer, but in this case you're a donating organisation because you're looking to share some of your levy, so you would click donating organisation, and what it will do here is it pops up this form which you'll need to fill out, and it's not too onerous, but I'll take you through that now. So you have to choose a username. So what you can do here is you could use your email address if you wanted to, but if you don't want to use your email address, you want to create a username, it needs to be memorable because it's what you'll use to actually log into the site. So in this instance I'm going to use an email address. You need to create a password, and that password needs to be at least 6 characters long and include both uppercase and lowercase with a numerical value as well. Then you need to put in your email address, and that might be the same as your username, but this email address is the email address that the site and the administration team behind the site will use to contact you should you need any support, or should they want to get in touch to give you any information about any of the opportunities you're supporting through Levy Share. This is the email that they'll use. Okay, so it needs to be something that's regularly monitored. And then your business name and your business address. So what we say is we'd like you to put in the address where you are actually based as the business contact. So it may be the head office, or it may be a satellite site, but we'd ask you to put that in as it is. But we do appreciate that as levy donors you may have multiple sites throughout the UK and multiple sites throughout England, so just the one where you're based. And then the postcode. And your name, or at least we'd assume it would be your name as you're registering for the site, but it actually might be that you've got someone in your team that will deal with Levy Share on a kind of day-to-day basis, so we'd ask you to put their name in. But whoever you would like the administration team and the coordination team behind the Levy Co-op Share service, who you'd like them to contact. And their position within the organisation. And we ask for a telephone number. So this telephone number that we take is so that it doesn't go outside of the site, it doesn't get shared with anybody else, but it's a way of us getting in touch with you. So our first communication platform that we try and get hold of you on would be email, but actually sometimes it might be quicker for us to pick up the phone to you just to check a couple of details or give you some information. So we'd ask for your phone number on there. As I say, underline that that's not shared outside of the service. Okay. What sort of sector that you're in, and what type of company are you? So here are some of the most popular types, most common types, but it might be that your company doesn't actually fit with some of these, and actually there's an option for other, and if you select that option for other, it will give you another drop down box where it asks you just for a bit more information about what type of company you are if you're not one of these. Okay, your website and your company registration number. Okay, we do ask you to put that in there. Onto your preferences. So what sort of things would you like to be shown on the site? So what sort of opportunities that you could share some levy with would you like to actually see? So by default every region in England is ticked here, and we assume that by registering on the site that actually you'd be willing to see opportunities from the whole of England. However, it might be that for some reason your preferences don't match that, so you can actually untick. So you could untick some of the things that you don't want to see. It's important that I mention that at this point, once you are registered and using the site, you can change these preferences at any time that you choose. Okay, so what most people would do is just leave them all on, but as we go through the lifetime of the service and you use it more, you might be that you want to refine the sort of stuff that you're shown in terms of geographical region. Okay, we move on to the next preferences here, and these are what type of apprenticeships do you want to see. So that's not to be confused with what type of business sector do you want to see. So I only want to see opportunities from the construction sector. That's not the way that opportunities are shown to you from this site. These are the type of apprenticeships, okay? Because it may be that you want to see digital apprenticeships, but you would see digital apprenticeships outside of digital businesses, i.e. you could see them in, you could see them in agricultural settings, you could see them on construction sites, you could see them in veterinary hospitals, you could see them in any business really. So this is a type of apprenticeship that you want to see, and what we've done here is everything is ticked, but again, as I've said with the previous preferences, you can untick them, and that will affect the type of opportunities that you're shown. So by default you might want to leave them all on, and then as I've mentioned, you can refine those once you're using the site at any point, at any time. The last thing you'll see here, where you have preferences, are the type of apprenticeships that you actually want to see. So it might be that you're only interested in seeing new recruits, but it might be that you're also interested in seeing where apprenticeship programs are being used to upskill existing employees, which is also very common. So again, both are ticked by default, but if there's something you don't want to see, you can untick. And again, as I've said with the other preferences, you can change them after you've registered into the site as well. This box here, where we ask you to indicate how much you're likely to share. We don't hold you to this, there's no contract, but what this does is this gives us an indicative number of kind of what potentially you might be likely to share. As one of the Levy donors that's registered to the site, it lets us kind of accumulate all the kind of how much people are likely to share, and gives us a kind of figure of how much potentially is available. We'd ask you not to put 0 in here, because we'd assume that you're not going to use the site if you aren't going to share anything, but there is no maximum and there is no minimum. But again, we don't hold you to it, but it allows us to kind of assume how much is available. Okay. And then we ask you to click here, and what this will do is this will ascertain that you're actually a genuine user. Okay, when you click register, you will be shown an email that says you'll get this pop-up box, and it will say that your account needs to be approved. So what will happen is an email will be sent to my team, and the team will take a look at your registration. If they require any more information, they'll reach out to you either by email or by phone, but if they got all the information that they require, they'll approve your account, and you'll receive an email to the email address that you specified when you registered, saying that your account has been approved and is now ready for use. And then what that will allow you to do is log into the service and see some of the opportunities, which is what I'm going to show you how to do next. Okay, so you've received your registration and it's been approved, and so the next thing you would do would be to log into the site using the details that you've created before. When you log into the site, you'll see that you are straight away presented with any opportunities that match your preferences. So down the left hand side here, you'll see the preferences that you have here, and these can be changed, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But here you will see that you are shown any opportunities that match your preferences. So you have a bit of information about the type of business that you're shown, and you can see here the date that it's been submitted, and you are shown these opportunities in chronological order, so the newest ones are always first. The apprenticeship standard that they are looking to be shown, that you are looking to support, and these are found on the Institute for Apprenticeships, so these should be correct. So you should have an understanding of what apprenticeship that actually is and what level, how many apprentices the business is looking for a transfer for, and there's one in this case, the name of the training organisation that's providing the training, and the location where this small business is actually based. Okay, and in this case it's in the West Midlands, and the area of the apprenticeship. So it's actually a digital marketer apprenticeship, which is a digital apprenticeship, and it's a new apprentice that they're looking for support with. They're going to recruit a new apprentice, and the value of that apprenticeship is £11,000. Okay, and here you can see a little bit of a narrative around why they're looking for support with Levy Share. So that gives you a bit of information about the opportunity. Okay, as I mentioned, when you are registering your account, you have the ability to be able to change your preferences at any point. So if you wanted to do that, you would, if you're not seeing enough opportunities, or if maybe you're seeing too many that aren't actually what you want to see, you can change your preferences. So at this point, say for example, for some reason you decided you didn't want to see anything that was in the West Midlands, so you click Save Member. It will update your preferences. It will tell you that your profile's been updated, and then when you go back to Find a Match, which is what you would use to try and see the opportunities, you will see that there's actually nothing being shown. Okay, and that's because the opportunity you were being shown before that was in the West Midlands, and you changed your preferences to say actually you didn't want to see anything in the West Midlands. If you tick the West Midlands again, you'll actually see that opportunity, when you go back to Find a Match, has appeared again. Okay, so say you see an opportunity that you actually think that looks good, I'd like to potentially explore sharing some of our unspent levy with that one. You can click Connect, and what will happen when you click Connect is it will show you a little bit more information about the business, who the direct contact is, and their telephone number, and it will show you their website as well if you wanted to have a little bit of a look at their website. But say you want to send them a message, the service itself actually has a messaging system that's private within it. So it means that you don't have to divulge your email address or your telephone number to any of the organisations who are looking for a transfer. You can simply use this message if you want to find out a bit more information about the opportunity. So you could say, I'd like a bit more info on this. So whereabouts exactly in the West Midlands are you based? So you can put whatever you'd like in here. So as I say, the nature of your message. So I'd like to learn more about how diverse your organisation is currently. Okay, and then you can click Send That, and what that will do is that will send a private message to that organisation, and they will get an email that will tell them that they have a private message, and they can log into the system and they can see the message that you've actually sent them, and they can respond through the site. And when they do respond, it will send you a message to your email address that you used when you registered, just saying you've got a new message, so log into the account to check it. It may be that you want to deal with each other outside of the site, which is entirely up to you, and when you feel comfortable to do that, you can do that. But there is a messaging service within the site which is private, which you can choose to use until you're ready to engage with that opportunity in a more formal way, I suppose, by divulging your email address and phone number and things like that. So yeah, that's how you would go about identifying matches and getting the information. There's two options at that point. You'll have the digital account number, that will be in there. So actually you could choose to connect using your digital apprenticeship service account and send a connection request to that organisation, which they will then accept, and then the two accounts are linked, your two digital accounts are linked, and that way they can load the cohort up for the apprenticeship and you can approve it, and it will use your levy to transfer. Or what is more common is that my team would kind of interact with you at that point and guide you through it. So at that point they would interact with Best Training as a training provider, they would interact with Small Business as the person that's looking for the levy transfer, and they would also interact with you as the levy donor, because they would be able to help you and make sure everything happens at the way it should happen, at the way, in the same points it should be happening along the timeline, and it goes as smoothly with a minimum of hassle, because that's ultimately what we all want. Okay, thank you.